A very good morning to all. I, Professor Raghavendra, welcome all the participants for the inaugural ceremony of the 4-day faculty development program on research methodology, a detailed research process. Prayer is an action. It is the process of talking with the God with the energy in order to achieve a purpose. So let us begin this inaugural ceremony by seeking the blessings of the God Almighty. वक्रतुंड महाकाय कोटिसूर्य समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. It is the supreme art of teachers to awaken joy in creativity, expression, and knowledge. I request Dr. Ramachandra CG, Managing Director of Sanatana Research and Training Institute, to welcome and introduce the chief guest of today's inaugural ceremony. Sir.
Very good morning, one and all. So I take this opportunity on behalf of Sanatana Research and Training Institute, which is a unit of Sanatana Sampratishthana, Mysuru, to welcome our today's chief guest for the inaugural ceremony, Dr. B.N. Shantapriya, and all the participants from different parts of the country, from Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Odisha, and even from other country also. From Bangladesh we got some the registration. So let me introduce today's chief guest, Dr. B.N. Shantapriya. So he has completed his undergraduation in BE in Mechanical Engineering in the year 1987 from University of Mysore. Then he has completed post-graduation, that is MTech in Maintenance Engineering in the year 1990 from University of Mysore, and diploma he has done in journalism in the year 1992 from University of Mysuru, and PhD in Mechanical Engineering in the year 2001 from the University of Mysuru. And he has got 30 years of experience in teaching, research, as well as in administration. He is a founder and managing trustee of Sadguru Shikshana Pratisthana, which is situated in Udupi, Karnataka. Many institutions is running under this umbrella, like a Skill Development Center, Training Institution, and a lot of other institution is running under this umbrella. And even he is the president of Sadguru Sauharda Sahakari Limited, Udupi. He has worked as principal in various institutions such as Sri Rayeshwar Institute of Engineering and Information Technology, Shiroda, Goa, Mudlakatte Institute of Technology, Kundapura, which is in Karnataka, Alvas Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mudbidre, which is also in Karnataka, and even Vivekananda College of Engineering and Technology, Puttur in Karnataka, and as Srinivas Institute of Technology, Mangaluru, which is also in Karnataka. So he has worked as a professor and head in the St. Joseph Engineering College, Mangaluru, even in Karnataka. And he has served as lecturer, senior lecturer, selection grade lecturer, and reader, etc. in Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal, Karnataka. And he has worked as lecturer in KVG College of Engineering, Sulya, Karnataka. And he is a member of Board of Studies, Industrial Production Engineering in National Institute of Engineering, Mysuru, and member Governing Council in Ekalavya Institute of Technology, Chamarajanagar, and panel of examiners for various universities for UG, PG, and PhD programs. A member, faculty selection committee or advisor or academic member for various engineering colleges across the country, and member for VTO local inspection committee for affiliation. Member Goa University as a nominee for staff selection committee, has written 5 books in various subjects. He has organized many training programs for students as well as faculty members. He has published or presented 17 plus papers in reputed national and international journals, and he is a live member of IST and Institute of Engineers in professional societies. He has attended and as well as organized many number of workshops, faculty development programs, seminars, and conferences. He has delivered many technical talks and keynote addresses in international national conferences and faculty development programs. So with this brief introduction, once again I will welcome Dr. B.N. Shantapriya sir. Thank you for being with us for today to inaugurate today's 4 days the faculty development program. And coming to the overview of this 4 days research program, let me start with this quote. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So, and even knowledge is divine and knowledge is powerful and it should be shared. So then only, so we can also learn more. So with this two quotes, so the basic intention of organizing this 4 day, the faculty development program, to motivate or to give more information for research scholar, budding research scholars and those who are doing research, just to give some insight, knowledge, so how to complete the research, how to get into it. So with this process, so many detailed information about the research which is provided in all the 4 the days. So with different 4 speakers, like basic definition and types of research, and what is the necessary things which are required for the research, and research procedure, how to carry out the entire research journey, and various elements which is associated. So this is the main intention of so organizing this the 4 day faculty development program. So I request all the participants to have a fruitful interaction with all the speakers and get the maximum benefit out of it. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Raghavendra.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Chief Guest of Inaugural Ceremony, Dr. B.N. Shantapriya, to inaugurate the 4 days faculty development program on research methodology, a detailed research process, and give a inaugural speech.
Good morning to everybody. Hello.
Good morning, sir. We can
Is it
hear
audible?
you. Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
Sir.
Good
Hello.
morning. Is it audible?
Yes, audible,
Hello.
sir. Hello,
Okay.
audible, sir.
Good morning to everybody.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm extremely happy. Hello.
Good morning, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay. Good morning to everybody. I'm very happy to participate in this today's program. After a long gap, I'm attending such a program. So it is a good attempt what Ramchandra is doing, and I am very happy to inaugurate this workshop, and I'm extremely happy about that. And most of the participants from throughout India and abroad also participating in this program. I'm extremely happy for that also. And today world is changing in a different mode, and what we observed in the last centuries and from past history, of suppose if you refer the past history, so we can see some of the things. So during the First World War and Second World War, after post hello,
We can hear you, sir.
Post World War, after World War, so many things are happened. Similarly, now the same situation came. The researchers have a large opportunity and a huge opportunity, and they can do many things. So I'm recollecting the things. Around 7 to 8 years back, I attended one workshop in the BMS College, Bangalore, and it was regarding the grand challenges for engineering. So it was very interesting, and what we observed from these things, so engineers or researchers should not think in a single way. We have to see the multiple way we have to think, and wide aspect we have to think. So from that only we can solve the problem. So present, if you see the present scenario in the world, so all the worlds are suffering from economically, they are backward because of coronavirus. So small virus is affected the entire world. Just imagine many industries are not working properly, the things are not moving properly, and institutions are not working, and people are hard. People are finding difficult to get money and jobs like that. So many difficulties are here. We can observe in the throughout the world. It is not only restricted to some part. It is a completely widely spread whole world. So in this scenario, we have the engineers have the more responsibility. As we see in the National Academy of Engineering, suppose if you refer National Academy of Engineering website, they have listed many challenges what we can have within this century. So these challenges, actually it is a totally focus, and all the automation. So the social distancing people are maintaining, we should not touch any material, and because of the touching, the virus will spread from one person to other person. See, these are the things it leads to think about the automation. So normally we what we called automation just for to drive something, it is an entirely different output should be there. So the recently we observed that robots are using in hospitals, and robots are using for the treatment and like that. So in most of the things are changing very fast. I think this the corona is not a disease, and it creates the opportunity for the researchers to think in a different manner. So in this scenario, this methodology research methodology workshop is a very good idea, and what Ramchandra is doing, and the most of the people are thinking about only institution has to do it. So but in a e-platform also we can create some workshop, you can run the workshop, you can conduct the hands-on training like that. The people have to think in an alternative mode of platform and working atmosphere we are create ourselves. So it is a good idea, and what I want to tell before methodology, and I want to talk about the personality of the researcher. So many people are think this research means is only for the degree or some titles or something. I am not believing all those things. So the researcher it must be personality most important before entering any research field. Next methodology will come. Researcher should be he has to maintain very good personality. Personality sense means he must some have quality. So first of all, he must be a good learner, and he has to learn and teach, and he has to share the what he learned. He shared the knowledge, and he must be focused in a particular area, and he has to think what are the other things. So adaptability is the most important. So these things, the personality, the first one is must be a learner, he must be adaptable to the new things, and he must be acceptable, and he has to ready to accept the results. He should not get ignore the things, and what are the things are happening, he has to accept it, and he has to produce further. So and at the same time his communication should be good, and he must be I am observed some of the researchers, they will become go for depression once something is failed, something happened, immediately they go for depression. That should not be happen. So that for all this personality, the spirituality is required. So in our Hindu system, we are always we start with worship of God. So similarly today also we started with Vinayaka Stuti. So like that, some spirituality and is required, and we have to adopt some of the good practices, and the lifestyle has to be maintained properly, so that yoga and other things and meditation and food system, by all this once you adopted ourselves, definitely we can maintain our personality and relationship with others also. So we must have an open mind system, and more focus on the area, and in-depth knowledge, acquiring of in-depth knowledge is very essential. So in this context, I am requesting all the researchers, those who are participating in this workshop, first you make an attempt to improve your personality, both physically and mentally or spiritually. So all these things are required. So then only you can success in the in any research. So I am very happy. So along with methodology, something in next session, Ramchandra can conduct some workshop on the personality for the researchers.
Definitely, sir.
Very happy, and this is a good moment. With a short period, you started these things. I'm extremely happy, and we should not always think about the support from the government or any institutions, and we have to think about how we can do individually. This is one of the good things for any researchers. So we should not depend on others. We should be create ourselves some platform, and Ramchandra did he started his good attempt, and everybody has to support and participate in this type in his program. By that way we can do something to the society. So researchers always think about contribute something. So we should not accept we should not think about my benefit and what I can contribute to the society. That is the most important. The many people will start their work with certain expectation. Expectation is secondary. So what I'm thinking, how I get involved in my work and how I get involved in the my research work. So then automatically the things will come, the benefit will come. So in this mode, all the researchers are worker. Researchers has to work. So the last few decades, it was very difficult. Research means it's very difficult. Communication was not there, no internet, no cell phone, and even no telephone properly. So communication was very bad at that time. So, but now the technology is improved and we have everything is available in a short period, and those things we have to utilize properly. And time scheduling is most important for the researchers, and I'm very happy to participate in this program, and extremely happy about the Ramchandra is provided space and opportunity for me to participate this to inaugurate this workshop. And because I'm away from the since last 5 to 7 years, I'm away from the academic circle. I'm totally alone, and I'm doing in some different field I'm working, and I'm thinking about the society and the social concepts and other things. So I'm extremely happy, and this workshop definitely benefited to all the participants. I'm very thankful to organizers and particularly Ramchandra, and I wish you all the best to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech, inaugural speech. Gratitude is the essence of humanity. It's with immense pleasure that I propose a vote of thanks. For first and foremost, I thank Chief Guest of today's inaugural ceremony, Dr. B.N. Shantapriya, founder and managing trustee of Sadguru Shikshana Pratishtha, Udupi, Karnataka, for accepting our invitation and gracious the occasions. I also thank Dr. Ramachandra Sidhi, Managing Director, and Dr. Raghavendra Prasad, MD, Research Head, Sanatana Research and Training Institute, for their involvement in organizing this 4-day faculty development program. Thank you, sir. Finally, I thank all the participants for your participation in this 4 days faculty development program. Thank you, one and all. Now, we will start the session 1 for 4 days faculty development program on research methodology, a detailed research process. Now, I request Professor Prashant Pai to introduce speaker of session 1.
Hello. Hello. Kelta idea?
Kelta idea.
Hello. Good morning to all. It's my honor and privilege to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Ramchandra CG. Dr. Ramchandra CG has completed his BE in Mechanical Engineering in the year 1998 from PES College of Engineering, Mandya. He has completed his MTech in Maintenance Engineering in the year 2002 from Sri Jayachamrajendra College of Engineering, Mysuru, Karnataka. And he has completed his PhD in Mechanical Engineering in the year 2014 from Vishwesvaraya Technological University, Belagavi, Karnataka. Presently, he is working in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Presidency University, Bengaluru. He has 2 years of industrial experience and 18 years of teaching experience in various levels, such as lecturer, senior lecturer, assistant professor, associate professor, professor, and HOD in Mechanical Engineering at GSSS Institute of Engineering and Technology for Women, Mysuru, Coorg Institute of Technology, Ponnampet, and Srinivas Institute of Technology, Mangalore. He is a founder and managing director of Sanatana Sampratisthana Trust and its allied institutions, which is a non-profit organization situated at Mysuru, Karnataka, and knowledge of any individual or group of people. He has received a patent for the title, system and method to control indicators of automobiles. He has written 12 in various subjects. He has published 94 papers in reputed national and international journals and presented 93 papers in national and international conferences. He is a member of editorial board for 92 reputed national and international journals and also a member of reviewer board for national and international journals. He is a member of organizing committee for the international conference. He is a member of 43 international. He is a member of 22 national and international professional societies like IEEE, ISTE, IE, etc. He has attended many international and national conferences and faculty development programs as a guest, as a resource person, guest of honor, jury member, senior chairperson, etc. He has attended and organized many workshops, faculty development programs, seminars, and conferences. He has delivered many technical talks and keynote addresses in international and national conferences and faculty development programs. He is a recognized PhD guide at Presidency University and VTU Belagavi. He has guided 3 PhD scholars and currently 6 candidates are pursuing PhD research under his guidance. He has guided many UG and PG academic projects. He is a member of panel of examiners. He is a member for panel of examiners for Presidency University, Vishwesvaraya Technological University, Belagavi, Anna University, JSS Science and Technological University, Shivaji University, Nitte University, Reva University, etc. He has received 11 academic excellence awards from national and international professional bodies. So this is a brief introduction about our resource person, Dr. C.G. Ramachandra. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request today's session speaker, Dr. Ramachandra C.G., Presidency University, Bangalore, to start the session.
Thank you, Professor Prashant Pai, as well as Professor Raghavendra MJ. So let me start my presentation, today's presentation. So I have only limited slides with me. Within that only maximum the information will cover. If any clarification doubts are there, just you can post it in the chat box. At the end, each and every the questions will be clarified. So my outline of my presentation goes this. So I'll be covering the objective, why we are in this research methodology, and why, what are all the basic things which is required. Next, in definition of research in different perspective, we will discuss, and different types of researchers. So it is available so that we can do it, and what is the necessary things which is available, which is required for the to do any research. We'll discuss, and in detail we'll focus upon this research procedure, starting from the day when you finalize your topic till you complete your research. We'll discuss in detail in that particular the unit, and at the end we will once again will cross check the elements of the research and summary. So let me begin with the objective. So to learn the basic skills that are essential to become a successful researcher. So this is the main objective all the researchers should have.
Yeah, so, you want to add that GST number? Which GST number?
So that means here, so we're going to discuss in this particular thing. So for any researcher, so what is the basic skills which is needed to complete his research? We can call him as a successful researcher. So it might be so many the skills he has to attain. At the end, once again, I'll speak about this basic skills. starting from your topic selection, that is area of selection, which you are either the area you can select based on your interest, you can select, or the particular area you want to work, you want to know more, or you want to add your the knowledge, you can select it. Then literature survey, you should know how to get the similar kind of work which is already being done in that particular area, how to explore those information, that is literature survey. In detail we'll discuss this thing, and how to collect the data which is required for your research, and including the planning, how to plan your the entire work, how to schedule your work. So these are all very, very important. And even analysis of your data after collecting your data, and at the end report writing. So to do all these things, the first and foremost thing is you have to come out from your comfort zone. This is what it is expected. As I given here the basic skills, many skills you will attain at the end. For example, communication skill is required. Okay, you are doing some work means you should be in a position to convince the others, either in the during your conference presentation, or when you meet some experts and all, you should be in a position to explain what exactly you're doing all these things. And also other type of skill like management skill, this is very, very important. Starting from the day one, how to plan your entire research, you should plan well, and you should schedule how to execute your the entire research plan. So these things are very, very important. And even different abilities also you should have. For example, ability to design your research at the beginning, how exactly you can design your work, and how to develop the instrument. For example, if you are doing any instrument that you are using, or any experimental setup it is required, you should be in a position to design that, and how to select, how to collect the data, and ability to analyze the data. Okay, these are all the basics, few skills which is required or essential for the successful researcher with this objective. So let me take this. This is today's definition of research in different. So research, as I told, so n number of ways different researchers will give you the answer for this. There is no standard or unique definition for the research as such. So that means here, so just these are the today's definition. To answer scientific questions, if there is any problem or any questions, we need to find out the solution or answer for that with a thorough method or with a thorough process, whatever it is essential to get the answer for that. Second one, to solve problems. Nowadays, the research starts from whatever the problem. It might be industrial, the related problem, or it is a society problem, or any particular the case. Okay, when the problem exists, so then only we have to find out the solution for that. The detailed procedure, whatever you follow to achieve the solution for a particular problem. So to solve the problem, so we can give an example for the today's definition for research, and to make something new, and to make something new. That means to make something new means which is not existing. That means, for example, either the research, either we can go with the invention or innovation. Okay, either in two categories we can do the research. For example, so invention and innovation, what is the main difference between these two, invention and innovation? For example, here it is given to make new things. That means if you are the new thing or new product you are designing from your end, which is not existing, it is called as the invention. That means invention, how we can define it? It is defined as the creation of the product or the introduction of the process for the first time. It is called as the invention. So inventing something, it is called invention. For example, so the telephone is the first time it is invented by a scientist. So later, lot of changes which has occurred later. So cordless telephone has come. Nowadays, the mobile telephone has come. So these are all called as the innovation. The first which is not exist. Okay, a new product or the process you're going to develop, it is called as the invention. So coming to the innovation, how it is different from the invention. So invention in other way, how we can define this in the sense, someone improves which is already existing, or makes a significant contribution to the existing product. Okay, these two are very, very, once again I'll repeat it. Innovation is nothing but the someone improves on or makes a significant contribution to an existing product, or it might be a process, or even if it is a service, then we can call this as the invention. Already that particular product which is in existing, so based on the requirement, okay, if you are upgrading it, still some more features you are adding to it, okay, so it is called as the innovation. The same example which I have given, the telephone which is invented by the first time, okay, so landline, then in the landline itself lot of improvements it has been taken place. Later the phones have come into picture. In the mobile phone also, like the Android phones, smartphones, okay, iPhones, like this. So this is the main difference between your invention as well as innovation. At the end, how we can conclude after discussing this difference between your innovation and invention? So innovation flows from the invention. So that means innovation is the part of the invention. Next, so with this, today's definition, a few the standard definition also we'll going to discuss. The first one which I have given, it is from the Oxford University. So this is a standard definition which is found by them. So what they have given, a detailed research is nothing but a detailed study of a subject. Suppose a subject may be any subject, your own interested subject. Okay, you can consider that as your area or the subject. Especially in order to discover a new information or reach to a new understanding. So whatever it is available there in your subject area or the area, so you are discovering some more new information. Okay, so then we can call this as a research. Next, coming to the second one, a detailed study of something in order to discover new facts. Okay, so already there is some fact. Okay, some more as per your, after doing your own study in the research, you will find out some more, you will add some more facts to that, else you are finding out a new fact to the existing one, especially in a university or scientific institution. That's what. So in most of the institutions or university, okay, so to get the degree, so we will find out a new fact. That means at the beginning itself we will give what are the probable outcome of your research. This is what the synopsis will going to write at the beginning. So the brief synopsis, in that the problem definition you will give, literature, a little literature you will give, objectives you will give, and the brief methodology also will give, and probable outcome also you supposed to write over there. Okay, that means, so as per the requirement, whatever the outcome that you are achieving, okay, after completion of your the study, we can call it as a research. Next, three more only important one we'll discuss. The third one, making a research is nothing but making a rigorous and relevant contribution to the knowledge. That's what at the beginning I quoted. Okay, that means not only a product, not only a process, in the knowledge also we can able to update or upgrade. So the contribution which you are doing to the knowledge or upgradation or updating the existing knowledge, then also we can call it as a research. Next, organized inquiry to provide information for the solution to a problem. So nowadays most of the engineering, this research, okay, will go we'll find out a solution to a particular problem that you'll go into. That's why we write a problem definition, or definition of the problem will write. So then only as per the problem definition, then you can write the set of objectives, then you can find out the solution for that. That means organized inquiry, organized the way how we will provide the information to achieve the solution to a particular problem. So we can call it as a research. The last one, process of searching for answers in any field of study or the solution of just one particular problem. That's what. So searching the answers in any field of study. Okay, so any particular problem you have taken, first detailed study, what you have to take, you have to collect the data pertaining to that problem, why that problem is existing, how to overcome from the problem, what are all necessity things which is required to use it in that the study, so that I can come out from this problem. That means a process of searching the answers. You may get a number of alternate the answers of out of that which is more feasible to the particular problem. So we need to select that and we need to proceed in our the work. So this is also called as the research. Next, so coming to the different types of research is the concerned. So here basically we have the standard the way of differentiate the research the types. The first one is explanatory or descriptive research. Second one is theoretic research. The third one is applied research. Okay, so one by one let me give some more information about it. So explanatory or descriptive research, so mainly it is on the most of the literature people, they will go for this kind of the research, or the management people, so they will go for this type of the research. That means to give a description of the phenomenon or a situation, they will, what exactly they will do, they will select a particular phenomena or particular situation, then they will go for the survey or interview or observation. For example, if any particular researcher, if you want to explore, or if you want to know in a particular village what is the number of user that is a mobile phone in particular village, or how many the graduates are there in that particular village, what exactly he will do, he will go visit that village, he will frame with some questionnaires, he will hand it over to them, or else he will go and interview them. So till what level you have your education. So based on this survey and interview with the people, and based on his observation, he'll come to a conclusion. Out of 100 people staying in that village, around 75 people are graduates, like that. So next, to present a picture of the topic. So the complete overview of the topic you're going to present at the end. And to ask questions about what and how. So how to carry out this the particular the research, all those things comes into picture here. And at the end, they may address a new topic or phenomenon. At the end, they will come to a conclusion. Okay, that is, it is called as a quantitative research. Also, I'll come to that, the quantitative and qualitative research. So explanatory or descriptive type of the research, wherein you can give some particular explanation to the particular the topic or the particular area that you have taken, and also you can give your own. For example, so in this case, village 1 you have taken this particular survey. It is not true for the village 2, because there the end users are different, and here the number of people are different. So like that, only for a particular your observation you can give for that particular the situation. That's all. So coming to the second one, theoretic or pure research. The theoretic, which is also called as a pure research. So all your basic science, like your physics, chemistry, mathematics, all the such kind of researchers comes under this theoretic research. So in this, what exactly so it happen, advances in the fundamental knowledge. So whatever the knowledge we have, okay, the fundamental theories or the standard formulas, whatever we have, so we are going to update in that whatever existing. For example, Newton first law is by him. Next, he tried with second law, and he tried with third law also. If it is a thermodynamics, we have first law of thermodynamics, law of conservative system, second law of thermodynamics, like that. So that means advancement with the existing the knowledge, fundamental knowledge. So we can call it as a theoretic research. And coming to the concern with the knowledge, so it's mainly, that's why the even our application, so our engineering application, the basic science, why we study, even our students, they study in their first year physics, chemistry, they will study. The mathematics also up to 4th semester they will study, because whatever it might be a Fourier transformer, or in mathematics so trigonometric function, whatever it is, we will going to use it in our application. For example, Fourier transformer transforms. The Fourier transform mainly used in, for example, in vibration, in harmonic motion. Okay, we use this Fourier transformation over there. So like that, and even contributes largely to the theory formation. So in the science theory, a lot of theories they have formed. Okay, so for that they give with lot of assumptions. They will create the theory. So the entire research which is done in this particular category or the area, okay, the pure research, basic knowledge level or the basic science, they will do it. And coming to the third one, so as I told, applied research, whatever the basic or the science background we have, we're going to apply here. That is most of the our engineering research comes under this applied research. So which is mainly concerned with the application of knowledge. Whatever the trigonometry functions or whatever the mathematical, the real empirical relations we have studied in the mathematics, we're going to integral, differentiation, whatever it is, we're going to apply in our engineering research, in engineering problems and solving particular problems. So most of the engineering research, okay, starts with a problem. Either it might be a industry oriented problem or problem which is existing in the society, or problems in the existing system where we are using it. It might be a machine or whatever it is. Okay, to solving a particular problem, to find out the solution for that, that means the procedure that you will follow to, okay, come out from the problems. Okay, we can call it as a applied research. The last one, applied research has direct applicability to the real world. So immediate effect, okay, it will come to the real world. That's why the hackathon, so everywhere you can see, even smart cities, when it is announced, so it is openly, the challenge is given to the entire public. Okay, so if you find out the particular problem, it will be awarded for you people. How best we can they convert the existing city into a smart city, and industrial oriented problems, whatever that is the existing, we have to find out the solution immediately. We can implement that also in the industry level, and even real world it will get implemented. That's why if you remember, while writing your the scope for your work, not for scope for further work, you have to write the application where exactly you will be using your the work which is carried out by you. For example, if you are doing any the mechanical properties or the any properties of the material, you are finding out for a particular material. For example, any material metal if you consider, okay, then automatically you have to give an application to that particular material, where it is being used, whether it is used in the aircraft body or in the fins, or in which particular area that material is used. What is the applicability of your research for the real world? So in detail we'll discuss these things. So this is nothing but the applied research. So, and out of these three, one more thing I have quoted. So that is nothing but the qualitative and quantitative research. So these two are the subcategories where we can do the research. So first let me give you the information about the quantitative research. Here, as the name itself implies, quantity means facts and figures. That's all. That means the quantitative research deals with numbers and statistics. It allows you to test a hypothesis by systematically collecting and analyzing the data. The first example which I have given, the survey type of work, where you are meeting or interviewing some set of people to know about their either the education, the qualification, or the number of mobile users in that particular area. So this quantitative research it comes. So you have a facts and figures. Out of so and so 100 people, 75 the people are graduated in this particular area. So this is nothing but your quantitative research, where facts and figures you are the finding out, and based on that you are arriving at a conclusion. That means 75% of the people, those who are staying in that particular village, they are graduated. So like that. And applied risk, and coming to the qualitative, it is little bit different from the quantitative research. So qualitative, the name itself here implies, which deals with the words and meanings, and it allows you to explore ideas, opinions, and experience in depth. For example, so here, so you don't have particular the facts and figures statistics over here. For example, if you are carrying out the tool wear analysis, for example, just in mechanical application I'll give, you are using a workpiece so and so tool, so and so you are using it, and including you are testing the tool life of the your tool, both in a dry condition as well as with the help of your lubricant, any particular lubricant you are using it. So without the use of lubricant, you are running the entire machine. Both the tool and workpiece comes into contact with each other, and you will find out what is the wear, okay, of the tool you are going to get, and with the application of lubricant also you will test it. So here, and reference for this, to select the either the tool or workpiece, the combination whatever it is, you have to go for the literature. And even in your biodiesel research, where how much percentage you have to add to the diesel, the different the artificially made or whatever other available over there, in different proportions we will add it, 5%, 10%, 15%, to test the entire the efficiency of the your oil. So like that, here based on the opinions, whatever, so for example, many researchers have found that, okay, if you increase the that means the combination of the your entire metal with either increasing the speed or increasing the cutting the depth of cut or feed, everything, so the toughness or hardness increases or wear rate increases. From that, the experimentation only you can analyze your result. So that's what. And also you have to give inference for such the experimentation type of research, you have to refer the previous the researcher, how they have conducted, how that particular ratios they have taken. So based on your result, you're supposed to plot, you have to tabulate the your experimental results, and then you need to plot a graph. And then based on that, whether the property, whether hardness, whether it's increasing with the application of your the speed, whatever it is, are decreasing, which is the optimum the speed where, okay, it till it increases the hardness or the hardness or any other paramechanical properties like tensile the strength or the compression strength, all those things. That means based on the opinions or whatever the analysis that you have done after conducting the experiment, so you can give your own ideas, inference while writing it, okay, and the experience is also required for this. So this is the main difference between your qualitative and quantitative the research. With this basic the information about the research, so at the end, so let me give these three things. A positive participation. So always, so as I told at the beginning, the successful researcher, you have to come out from your the comfortable zone. So this is just three information just for you. I forget. Okay, that means if you hear some information about your the research or anything else, if you won't use that information, automatically after some time you will forget that information. Correct? I remember. If you see any particular type of the aspect, you can remember up to some extent. You can remember. Very good example for this. Suppose in any one conference, you meet one particular person who is belong to some other state or some other university. Next time, after some couple of years, if you meet him, then you'll start remembering him. Somewhere else have seen you, like that. So that is remembering. But for the positive participation which is required for your research is I do and I understand. So whatever the even minute things that you're supposed to do in your the research, you do it personally. And nowadays most of the researchers, what they will do, especially for the experimentation results, they will give their workpiece to the some XYZ testing agencies, and including the graph, everything will be provided by the those the company people. Okay, so that means even though the experimentation is doing by those the company people, you go and meet them and get the first-hand information how to test this our components which is supplied by you. Okay, which machine which is being used, what are the output I'm going to get, what are the data I'm going to get, so how it has to be tabulated, and you better always you plot the graph. Okay, even so nowadays most of the testing kits, it is computerized testing kit, including your the graph also you're going to get in that. Okay, don't and that you do everything from your end, so then only you can defend your the work at the end of your the research. Okay, so next, and for this very good example I can give, I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. That means, for example, if you read a newspaper, if I give you a newspaper, so even if you read from the beginning till the end, tomorrow if I ask you, so what and all the content of the yesterday's newspaper, you will remember only a few, correct? Only the important one, which is nearly okay, that information is required by you or your place or which your interest. Only those information you can remember, not more than that. Okay, next thing is studying. Only these three the points I'm relating to the reading, studying, and understanding. First one is reading a newspaper. Okay, after one day itself, we cannot able to recall all the information. Only a few information you can recollect. That's all. Second one is studying. So studying in the sense up to some number of days you can remember. That's what I told you. Your own the interest, for example, your examination. Pertaining to that, your higher studies pertaining to that, or your research, or your university, or where you are working, or those information it comes in the newspaper, you can remember that. That's whatever the studying, nothing but to fulfill the semester examination or to fulfill your progress or your the courses examination, whatever you study, that is studying. Coming to the understanding, if you understand, so if you do it by yourself, everything, if you understand the basic or foundations or the basics which is required for your research, then so nowhere you will forget it. Okay, so with this let me go for the next the topic, what is necessary for research. Okay, what are the key ingredients which is required for the research. Here only one example why I have taken this control engineering example, because it is interdisciplinary, the research can be done on this particular area. So for example, I have to do research on the control engineering field. So simply I cannot step into the control engineering. I need the background for this particular research. What are the background? Control engineering means I need a mathematical background is required. Okay, and system, different types of systems which are used in the control engineering. I require, for example, open loop control system, closed loop control system, parallel systems, series systems. All those things I should have the basic idea, and even what are the control theories which are available. So this is the background which is required. And coming to these are the basics. Coming to the engineering tools, we need to have a software. Suppose you have to validate your result, okay, theoretical as well as your experimentational work. Then we need to use software like C++ or MATLAB. You can use the hardware, your computer system or any. Sorry for the inconvenience. So let us continue this, the necessary for research. So next aspect is methods, or what are all the skills which is required for the research. So the first one, how to think logically. So you have to think in different aspects, starting from the day when you finalize your topic. You have to think in so many aspects of the topic or the research area you have selected. Okay, within this stipulated time, the university normally 3, 4 or 5, 6 years they may give. Within the stipulated time, whether you could able to complete this the research, whatever you are taking, and is it feasible? Okay, so these are the things. So you have to think in logically. And coming to the next, how to start to do research. So this is the major the things where we have to discuss. So always we have starting the okay, somewhere we start. So in between we'll stop. Once again we have to start from the beginning. Okay, always somebody has to push you or motivate you to in line with your research. Okay, then so you cannot complete your research at all. So you should have a proper plan for this. That means if you have started your work, you do what are all the things which is required to complete your work. That's all. You are getting into the system in session. Don't look back or any consequences. You have to complete, and you have to first and foremost you have to come out from your comfortable zone. Okay, and you cannot give any reasons as such. I have this problem, I have that problem. So, and college I have certain the responsibilities they have given. So that's why I could not able to concentrate my research, all those things. So next, how to find qualitative references. A qualitative references in the sense, okay, your literature survey. It means how to get these references either from the reputed textbooks or journals or your conference proceedings or even the thesis or any company catalogs or any information that is required for your research. Okay, you refer those things. So without a thorough literature survey, it is very difficult for you to continue your work. So next, research plan. The planning is very, very important. But after planning, most of the people, they won't schedule it and they won't execute it. Okay. Planning should not be a plan always. Okay. That means after the research plan, according to your planning, you have to act so that you can complete your research within a stipulated time. Next, how to manage the research process. The managing is very, very important. Okay, so research process. So it starts from the day one, from when you have the deciding or finalizing your topic till the end. What all the entire process you have to manage everything. Managing in the sense not only the research, so your day to day everything you have to manage. Your family life you have to manage. Your profession life you have to manage. You cannot give any reason. So in my family, my sister is getting married. I have to involve in that. I don't have time for research. In college, we have MBA work. We have NAC work. I could not able to get the progress from my research work. Those reasons don't give. Whatever it is, okay, everyone will be having 24 hours only, not even a minute more or less. You somehow you have to manage everything. Then only you can able to complete your work within the time. How to present the result? You can present your result in the conference or any other similar kind of the platforms, and there that platform you can meet some experts, industrial or academia expert, jury members, or any other researcher who is doing research in the same field. Face to face, you can interact with them and you can share your the things. That's all. Next, how to deal with the result. So to deal when the outcome, everything you are getting, it means you published your work in a reputed journal, or if the product or any process you are implemented, you patent it. So these are all the skills which is required for the research. Next, the key, the point which I will going to discuss in today's the session is research procedure. Okay, if you understand this research procedure, okay, it is very easy for you to complete your work. So I have given 4 stages excluding the initiation. So initiation is nothing but fixed topics or problems. How to select a topic? First and foremost, the question arises. either in the two ways. So whichever the topic you are having interest to work on that, or else the topic you have some background, you can select the topic and you can explore what all the basics or the foundation which is required for that topic, and you can fix the topic along with the discussion with your guide. Or else you meet any guide of your the area which you are interested, discuss with him, and he may have several the problems pertaining to that topic. He may give you the problem, you study that problem, and then finalize your the topic. This is the first and foremost thing that you have to do. That means before getting into any particular topic, first you go through that topic properly, get the basics of that topic, and check the feasibility, whether you could able to come to a conclusion for that or not. Coming to the research stage 1. So after finalizing your topic, then literary survey is nothing but literature survey. You can take paper, the journal paper, or reports, or theses, articles, books, whatever it is. Okay, and even you can meet the experts, you can talk with them, and you can observe also some of the researchers, okay, those who are doing in the same similar field. And after collecting so many the literatures, you study that by one literature, how to come to conclusion this particular paper is related to your topic or not. First, any paper is concerned, first you read the abstract carefully, even the conclusion next one, rather than reading the entire paper, either in the abstract or conclusion. So most of the information it is available over there. So whether this particular paper, okay, you can get some inputs for your work or not, you will come to know about it. If it is there, then you get into the paper and study and go through the paper, which method he has adopted, how you have conducted the experiment, what are the results he has obtained, how he has written the inference, on what basis, all those things you can. That means after a thorough literature survey, you need to write the overall, okay, that means the overall information about the literature, in the sense you need to write that means the summary of the literature you have to write. Okay, after referring so many paper, you write, okay, so and so people have worked on this is the result they have obtained. All these informations you can include in the summary. You can summarize the entire literature that you have referred. Next, after that, so you need to identify the gaps which is present. So if you identify the gaps, then you can find a place for your work. So and so work has been done, but in this particular area or in this particular material or workpiece combination, only limited work has been done, or no work has been done in that. So that's why I'm taking this particular field of work. Like that, you have to mention. Once the gap is identified from the literature, you define the problem. The next one is define a statement of the problem or define the problem. What is the problem that exists? One or two, or you can write problem statement or defining the problem. You can write. So exact, that means defining the problem in the sense exact understanding of the problem leads to the better solution. That's all. So writing the definition of the problem and research objectives you have to write after the defining the problem. So based on that, you can write the number of objectives. That means objective should not be the number should not be 10, 15, 20 like that. Limit it to 4 or 5 or 6. Okay. So clearly you mentioned it. So what exactly you will be doing in your research in that? What exactly you are finding? So what exactly you are doing in that? So this is your objective. So after the objective, so methodology you have to draw the flow chart. You can show it how to collect the data either from the primary data or the secondary data. Okay, so how, so the material selection, how we have done, on what basis, material combinations, okay, the tool, the proportions and combinations, and then where the facility is available and which particular setup you are using, what are all the parameters or variables you are using. So all those things you can give in the methodology. And scope of your work, and that means where it is applicable. So where it is applicable, for example, one particular titanium material you are using, so where that can be used, what titanium alloy you are using, okay, grade 5 or grade 9 you are using it, okay, where it is applicable, whether in the aircraft the bottom material, or which particular automobile part material, where it is being used. That means you have to calculate your work, so where we can apply that. So that is very, very important. And next step is making a research plan. So making a research plan, that means you have nothing but you can put a Gantt chart. So this particular week or this particular month, what is the amount of or quantum of work I have to complete it. So normally, in many universities and all, every for research scholar, every 6 months you need to give the progress report, right? You plan it properly in this particular the time lab. So what work is supposed to complete it to show the progress. So like that. So timetable you can prepare according to this progress, and time limitation also it is there. And allocation of research resource, time and equipment and manpower, these things and all you can, where the facility is available, whom to contact to use that facility, whether it is free of cost available or payable, or through with who reference have to go, when to go, book an appointment, get it done. So like that, the entire the planning you have to do in this is a stage 1. Second research stage is the problem solving stage. So here actual your research work that you are going to do within this research stage 2. So under this problem solving stage, you getting to the bottom of the problem. So go in depth to the problem, analyze it, collect the data, analyze it, everything, redefine the problem if it is necessary. Okay, you can redefine the problem also. That's what I was link. So your the research is like that only. So we'll get into it at the beginning. While doing it, okay, some of the cases, okay, so you cannot come to the arrive to that particular the outcome. Such a cases up to your the stage where the comprehensive viva you will be taking. So in that there you can change your the topic or fine tuning of your research area. You can do it, not the entire thing. Fine tuning you can do it. You can redefine the problem as well as your topic also slightly can change. And in this brainstorming you can have, so whoever is expert in that particular area, you can go and meet them, fix an appointment, whoever it is. And creative and logic thinking is very, very essential for this. And discuss with others. There is no point in, so don't hesitate. Okay, if why should I ask him? Okay, if he knows the things, go and ask him what is there in that. You can always you can go and meet the people, those who know about it, and discuss with them, get the some the inputs which is required for your work, and the background needed to solve the problems. So what are all the background which is required to solve this problem, you have to list it out and you have to solve the problem. So in that so you should list it, what I know and what I should learn. So for your particular problem, so what and all I know from my side, and what and all I should learn to get the solution for this problem. So this role comes under your problem solving stage, plays a very important role. So the entire your experimental setup and facility, getting the results, tabulating it, and drawing a graph, and based on the literature, how to draw the come to conclusion, or the inferences for your the results, whatever you are getting it. So this was very, very important. And coming to the research stage 3, oral presentation. oral presentation after. So this you can do in between your work also. If you complete the stage 1, so then that is case study 1, so you can apply for a conference, good conference, international conference, and you can present your paper. So there also it's a right platform for you. Any experts, industrial experts or academia experts, if they are there, you can go and meet them and you can get some input also, and you can present your paper over there. Face-to-face interaction you can have, and there the time limitations will be there. In oral presentation, in conference, 10 to 15 minutes they'll give. So you have to restrict your time to cover your entire content of your work. So that is also one type of skill you will attain. Then writing a report. Writing a report is that, once you complete your work, all the experimentation, actual river case study, everything, you have to write the thesis before you submit to the university or institution. So writing down with the full detail according to the standard format, whatever the standard which is specified your university or the institution. So you need to write the thesis. And one more thing I need to for the research scholars, do not wait till you complete your work to start your the thesis. So from the beginning only, parallelly, you spare some time to write your thesis also. Once you finalize your topic and all the literature is done, so introduction chapter you can write, literature survey chapter you can write, then summary of the literature, gap identify, problem statement you can write, then objectives you can write, methodologies, everything you can write. Once you start your actual work or the research, there also whatever you complete, okay, parallelly, for example, getting the data, the material, the specification, the tool, specific experimental procedure, everything you write down parallelly. Whatever the results you are getting, it tabulate it and try to draw the graph also for that. And with the literature reference, you can write the inferences also there itself. Continuously you meet your guide and give chapter wise chapter, get it corrected from him, and like that you can continue. Once you complete your work, so immediately, so your report also should be ready with you. And many people, what they will do, until they complete their work, they won't start the report at all. So report writing also may take several months. You can save your time. Okay, so next, after writing report, data arrangement. That means what are the experiment data that you have done, so you have to arrange it in a proper sequential manner. So tabulation and your graph and inference, those things. And suppose if you have used any statistical tool or the software, the program code, so your appendix, and you can include this for simulation or proof which is required. Any survey questionnaires you have given for survey data, quantitative the research, you can include that. So in your thesis in appendix. And coming to the research stage 4, the publication. The publication in the sense, so you can publish your work, part of the work or the work in the reputed journals. What is reputed journal? So select the reputed journal in the sense, so it might be a SAE journal, a SAGE, Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, Elsewhere, IEEE, Spinger, or any quartile journals which is having very high impact factor. Quartile journals, okay, like we have 4 different types of quartile journal. It is called Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Q1 will have 25% of the journals in it, and Q2 25 to 50 journals comes in that, and Q3 50 to 75% of the journal, and Q4 around 75 to 100% of the journals comes in this category. So Q1 will have more high impact factor than Q2. It is like that. Okay, and this the writing skill also. So you have to enhance while writing a paper in a journal. So you have to stick to the standard format of that journal. Okay, as well as you have to restrict your content within the number of the pages where they have given, the double column or single column, whatever it is. So it is also, you will get a writing skill also. And patent or product, suppose you have done in any prototype model, so you can, or any process or any method or any new design you have done, you can apply for patent. Okay, the patent is nothing but, so the legal rights you are getting for your result. So in many cases, applied research, okay, results in a product, so we can apply for patent. So it comes under IPR. You might have heard intellectual property rights. Okay, different types of the things that we can comes under intellectual property rights, that is copyrights. Okay, it won't come to us. For companies, some trademarks for the companies, and even for our applied research, we can patent the process or the method, even product or even a new design. Okay, we can apply for patent. So this is the detailed procedure in the, that means, let me recall this. The first, you have to fix your topic. Next, a thorough literature survey you have to do and collect as many number of papers, including recent papers, and study what they have done in this particular area. And after referring to it, so you write the summary of the literature and then identify the gaps. After identifying a gap, you write the statement of the problem or the problem statement. Then according to that, you write the objectives. After writing the objectives, you write the methodologies, and then the scope where your work can be implemented or it can be used. Next, actually your case study, you can start and you can plan it properly and you can complete it. After completion of your work, in between, if any opportunity comes, present your paper in a conference and all, meet the, that means in problem solving stage, that's what you have told, brainstorming, whoever it is, okay, go and meet them and get the right inputs for your work and complete your work. Complete your thesis, okay, and then submit to the authorities. So normally your thesis will be evaluated by both the Indian examiner as well as the foreign examiner. So publish as many number of the papers, the high impact factor paper, and plagiarism also plays an important role here while publishing your paper. A few journals, they make a 5%, 10, 15, 20 or 25 or even 30% also they may keep, depending upon the paper. See to that. Okay, so the and even for your thesis also plagiarism matters. Okay, so here this is not the right platform to speak about plagiarism, just a percentage given. So future we'll plan one one event for this, exclusively for this patent as well as this plagiarism aspect only, then in detail, so you can get the knowledge about it. And coming to this, just it's a recall for you. The elements of research, like literature survey, after identifying your topic, studying background, in-depth knowledge, in-depth the information about your work, and then solve the problem. So you plan it properly, execute it, and find out a solution for your problem, and present your result to the others. So either in conferences or any platform, and including your defense, where you will going to defend your the work, and handling the result, publish in the good, the high impact factor, the journals. So already we have discussed, just it's a revision for you. Okay, and the main purpose of this session, what you will take away from this session. So you have to develop and practice methods for your own research. The task you have to perform is select your own research topic. Select your own research topic. You consider that. Next, find qualified steps for your own research topic. What and all it is required. Okay, you find it out. Make a schedule for your research. So schedule in the sense here, most of the management skill you will get in planning a research, scheduling it, time and executing it, performing properly. So entire thing in which direction you have to go, the entire management skill you will attain in this. And coming to the make oral presentation, either in your progress presentation or in conferences, their communication skill you will improve. Why communication skill is required? Because whatever the work you have done, you have to communicate in a better way that the others can understand your work. That's what you have to defend your work. Writing reports, so either writing thesis or the journal paper or conference paper, your technical writing skills will enhance. It will enhance. So technical writing skill also you are improving. And make outcome, either publish your paper or if it is a product you apply for patent. So that's what I told at the beginning. So many the research skills which are required, these are all some of the research skill you have to have. So then you can become a successful researcher. So this, so let me give the summary of this presentation. So I've started with different the definitions I have given and the types of research we have discussed, and what are the necessary things which is required for your research we have discussed. The detailed research procedure is very, very important. If you follow this, definitely, so everyone can finish your work within the stipulated time, and you can become a successful researcher. And these are all, and even the elements of research also we have discussed. So if any questions are there, you can post it in the chat box. So I'll take one by one and try to answer for your the questions. So with this, even though in between some interruption was there, so I thank everyone for your patient the hearing and participating in this the session. So you have my mail ID as well as number. If any details is required regarding your research or any help or guidance, you can feel free to contact us, so we will help you. So with this the intention only, we have planned this event so that any researcher can get some inputs from our session, and any clarifications or any feedback is there, you can post it here so that I can, so any good journal. So there is no, I cannot give any good journal to give. So you have to find out according to the impact factor. At the beginning, we have asked beginning what you can do. So once you complete your literature survey, one paper, review paper you can write. It is called review paper. In papers, either the technical paper, case study, or like that, different the types. One review paper you can write at the beginning once you complete your literature survey. So many 50 papers you have taken. So you summarize all the 50 papers. So many researchers have found out that, so this is increasing the parameter, and what is the influence factor for this? This is like this. You conclude from your side and write one research paper. And initially you may get many comments, reviewer comments, including a simple review comment you may get. Suppose around 10 references you have used in your paper. And you have not cited those numbers in your body of the paper. You may get one reviewer comment that all the reference numbers are not cited in your paper. So like that, don't feel bad. Whatever the comments they give, you correct it. That means more and more comments at the beginning you get, so you can become you can achieve a perfection in that. Only for one or two the papers you may get you may get such type of comments. Later, once you get into this, easily you can write as many number of papers. Got it? And try to publish in high impact factor and Scopus indexed the journals. Then so it will give some the weightage for you, and as per the requirement of the institution, so whatever it is there, you fulfill that, and not only restricted to that. So you try to continue your research after completion of your research also, and that paper, the publication of the paper also, as many number, okay, you want, you can publish it. So anything else? So as it is requested by some participants, so this paper writing, the paper writing and the technical paper writing and proposal writing in many institutions, so they will always ask write proposals, all those things. We'll arrange a proposal writing and technical paper writing session also, including a patent, how to get a patent, as well as plagiarism is also very, very important now. In future you can expect so these areas, so we'll arrange those things. So with this, once again, I thank everyone for your patient hearing and participating in this session. Thank you, one and all.